Tafari on the outside with 100 metres left to go. Went to the lead, trying to go within a swing deal, but Tafari takes the stroke, takes the tiara. Tafari too good, too classy.
Welcome back to Brisvegas, our Queensland Winter Carnival Racing Show, brought to you by TopSport.com.au and puntingform.com.au. I'm your host, Scoot, and I'm joined by Johnny Mcleod and Turbo Tommy, the Windsor Weasel himself, Tommy Henjak. How are you guys?
Yep, good, thanks, Scoot.
Yes, Tom. I still haven't got the skirt off for the Sadie business. I'm hanging on to it. I can't find a winner.
Yeah, it's been a challenging carnival. I think the bookies have still got the upper hand up in Queensland. This is our 10th and our final show for the Winter Carnival, and we'll go into hibernation down here in freezing cold Melbourne. And spare a thought for you boys, in lockdown up there. It's you were giggling and you've had an easy run of it, but 4 cases and the batten down the hatches up there. Absolute madness.
Yep, we've had a lean week at MacBet yesterday, and now we've got to try and find a winner, and it's just absolutely pouring rain down here in Brisbane, and I don't think it's any better up at the sunny coast.
Let's have a quick recap of last week. There was a couple of really impressive winners. The first one was Tutakaka. Looks like a progressive little runner there.
Yep, he is a half brother to Melody Bell. They went really slow in front, but Cahill never really let him off the leash. Ripped home in really good sectionals for the day, but it was a sit and sprint. But yeah, it was a funny race because 1,800 metre 2-year-olds. The rest of the day was a bit of a fiasco with the Sydney jockeys being pulled the day before with the COVID kind of, what do you call it?
Lifestyle.
Yeah, I guess it's just a lifestyle these days. Sydney jockeys weren't allowed to come up, so I was definitely pulling my hair out. I think it was Thursday night to see who was going to get booked on some of these rides. Odium got replaced. J-Mac, Andrew Mallion went on, had to reprice that with the new jockey ratings, and it's fair to say I didn't have Odium close to where I had it pre that, even though I do think she was very disappointing in the Tats Tiara. Defane's just absolutely flying. Craig Williams just put her into the race, said he was going to be here. I'm going to come out now, and I'm just going to be too good for you all.
I was surprised. He did. He took all the luck required out when he settled much closer. Settled in the first half of the field, and it was a canny ride. But we spoke about it on the Bet Doctor show earlier today, and Walt and I were quite astonished that so many Queensland jockeys remained close to the fence. It was so obvious from so early in the day, and Craig Williams just schooled them all day. And as the day wore on, I just got more and more confident that Tafane was going to be in the right spot, because none of these jockeys had a left blinker, as Walt would say. What are your thoughts there?
Well, it's funny you say that, because before the meeting, we were up in the grandstand looking at a few jockeys walking the track, and lo and behold, who was the one out there with the stick, checking where the best part of the track was? It was Craig Williams. There was a couple others walking out there, but I think they were just out there having a ciggy. Even actually Scissorhands went out there and had a quick look, but it's fair to say that Craig Williams does his homework, and it sure does pay off.
Scissorhands is Mark Duplessis if you're joining us for the first time. And Incentivize was the horse that everyone found. It was super short, but it absolutely streeted his rivals. It was an amazing performance, and we were sort of worried about the quick backup from Ipswich Cup Day, and thought, maybe it's a better idea to get this horse into the paddock and save him for the spring. But Johnny Mcleod, I might let you field this one. He toyed with him, and he's going to be a real big player, isn't he, in spring?
Yeah, I think he is. He's definitely, as I was sort of thinking, I probably would have put him in the paddock and then tried to win a couple of lead-up races going into to get into the Caulfield Cup and that. I think he's been rated high enough now to possibly even get into the Cup. They've really boosted his rating, which you can't deny what the sectionals are saying and how he's been winning. He just lengthens at the right time. He's a good-looking type that hasn't, he's going to come back stronger. So he's just a lovely animal, and there's nothing, you can't sort of deny what he's doing. I was probably thinking he's going to be a chance in, like a Ballarat Cup or something like that. I didn't know whether he could get to the Caulfield Melbourne Cup type of scenario, but after watching him the other day, just the way he just put him to the sword, and they ran him along quickly, and then he's got the audacity just to put a gap in him. So He's a good horse.
And Tommy, were you mentioning to me offline the other day that you had a bit of an incentivised story? Was it maybe from the Sunshine Coast? Is there a backstory to this horse? A sick beat somewhere, or he pulled your pants down?
I'll have to quickly. I'll look it up again. But we'd backed this horse called Rations up at the Sunny Coast. Off its last start run, it charged through the line, going up in distance to a big track, and we were just all over it. Johnny and I, we've made the trek up to there. Caloundra on the Sunday. Sure enough, this horse is just, the market's been with it. Incentivise is coming off a Toowoomba loss, albeit it was very unlucky. It hadn't shown a whole lot of talent. I'm pretty good friends with Steve Tregea, and I always have a chat to him at the races, and he wasn't up there on the Sunday. So I was pretty confident that the horse probably wasn't, Incentivise I'm talking about, wasn't going to go much good. So we're so confident on Rations, and just at the 600, this horse just starts steaming from the back and goes straight past it, gives it windburn, and wins by 4 lengths at 20-1.
Ugh.
And Johnny and I are just staring at each other like, what has just gone on? Like, where has this thing come from? It's gone like an absolute lead jet. And sure enough, we piled into Rations next start. I think it was like a 3-day backup, and it got the chockies for us. But that was our kind of claim to fame with Incentivise, getting knocked off at Caloundra's at 20s at one start.
Wow. Gee, we won't see that price. And you just dream, as an owner, you just you dream of those sort of days at the races. It's all about the Caloundra Cup this Saturday, and it's our final show. So the boys, I know, love betting at that track, and I certainly do. It's a big roomy track. You got the big crown there, and most horses get their chance. So absolutely thrilled to preview the Caloundra Cup and the Glasshouse meeting today on the show. And we're also going to have a look at the Provincial Stays final. It's a benchmark 80. But first, I think we're going to spear into race 4. I think Johnny Mcleod's trying to trigger me here. As a horse that cost me a severe amount of money on Stradbroke Day and JJ Atkins Day. It was the missing leg of a multi, and I would have won a new car. But it's race 4. We're going to have a look at early. It's the Martin Collins Australia Open Handicap over 1,000 metres. And the horse I'm talking about is GTT. It cost me a fortune. Johnny was tipping it, $360 it is, opening favourite here. Got Totally Charmed, 6 into 480. Jammy Lady, $550. Bold Style, $650. A little bit of money for Just Orm, $750. It's in from 8. And then I've got an L, 12 into $11. But we're going to have a look at a replay of GTT winning a few starts ago. Johnny, take us away. In the purple.
Okay, this is GTT back in the field in the purple with the blinkers and the white face coming to the outside. Now, he did come in the right part of the track this day, and we were tipping him pretty strongly, thinking this could happen, the fence being off and him being in the right part. But he just charged to the line and really put a gap in him. Now, I'm sort of thinking that this possibly could happen again on the bigger track here now at the Sunshine Coast. We know, as we said, we were all on it the other day, and it just didn't put in. Now, he's a big horse. He may not have handled Eagle Farm. And I'm just sort of thinking back to the 1,000 on a wet track. He's got the fitness to run out the 1,200, and a lot of these horses are 1,000-metre horses or horses that are first up from a spell. So I just think there's a few holes in this market, like, Just Orm's very in and out. Gemmy Lady, just got to go to the breeding barn. She just hasn't performed at all. She's as big as a house, and they just can't seem to get any weight off her. I've got an L's a definite 1,000-metre horse. Totally Charms, first up from a spell, and he's got a ping and just has a few little problems, I think, this horse. And I just think he might find the wet track or heavy track a problem. Jardin Rouge didn't go too bad, and Bowl Style's very in and out. Bring It Home Pop's been just having 2 or 3 starts every preparation, so been disappointing horse. We bought a Zoo, got beaten at Doom in midweek, and He Can Star won a Caloundra first up over 1,000, but weak horses. So there's a lot of flaws in a lot of these horses where GTT is going to be back in the field. Let him go. There should be good speed up front. Come to the middle of the track where the mound is, and he shouldn't be too powerful. I just think he's the right horse here.
It's a race full of cats. These horses are yo-yos. They're so up and down. What about you, Tommy Turbo? Can you forgive this horse, GTT?
Yeah, that was the conversation I had with John this morning is wet track, can he handle it? But as John said, there's a lot of convictions in a lot of horses in this race. I'm surprised Jamie Lady's 550, to be honest. I think that's I think it's just simple. She hasn't come back this preparation and the blink is going on for the first time. Looks an act of desperation.
It's funny you're saying that Jamie Lady and GTT are out of the same stable. Now they've slammed the blinkers on Jamie Lady, and I've got an L up in front. He might just push the button on Jamie Lady and really rip along and try to. Yeah, it's a possibility that could happen. Because I would say this is her last hurrah. Yeah. So she's either going to let rip and keep going, or she's going to go to the barn, and there's no questions asked because she's been going bad, and why not just try something different? So if they go really helter-skelter and then all of a sudden they start pouring out to the middle of the track from back in the field, who's the strong one? And, the strong fit horse, and that's GTT.
He's going to run out, the strong 1,000 with that 1,200 metre run under his belt. And, you probably, you might be right here, Johnny. It may be just a matter of him not letting down on that Eagle Farm track, which some horses can definitely do up in Queensland. Let's take a quick break and we'll come back and preview the Caloundra Cup. But if you're doing the form this weekend, make sure you try puntingform.com.au. They're Australia's #1 database. They're now sponsoring Nick Ashman's show on racing.com at Sectional Stars. So those boys trust their data, and so does Johnny Mcleod. And they're a big sponsor of ours. So make sure you get around puntingform.com.au. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back with the Caloundra Cup. Welcome back to Brisvegas, our Queensland Winter Carnival show. I'm your host, Scoot, and I'm joined by the boys from MacBet, Tommy Turbo and Johnny Mcleod, and it's time to talk Caloundra Cup. Absolute cracking renewal of the race this year. We're expecting a little bit of a wet track here. Stockman is the favourite, looking at the odds courtesy of topsport.com.au. It's been backed early, $2.30 into $2. Woo Gok from the Chris Waller yard has been $7 into $6. Flash R, 9 into $7.50. Happy Go Plucky, big upset win in their Ipswich Cup at around the $26 mark, $9.50 it is. Mirage Dancer, it's got the incentivised form, $11. Seller made $13. Loomed up last start. I was a little bit nervous because I wasn't on. And Humboldt Current is the other one, $13. And then you're starting to get right out in the market there with Victory 8. But Tommy Turbo, the replay that you want to have a look at is Flash R.
Yep, so Flasher is the one in the black colours, was rails and run here, which was a very fast run, 2150 metre Ipswich Cup. I've been tossing and turning on this race a lot because it comes down to how much do you trust the Ipswich Cup form. The race rated pretty good. If you're trusting those ratings, then some of their horses coming out of this race will give Stockman a good run for his money. What Stockman does have in his favour here, though, is he has the 2,000 metre, 2,400 metre lead-up form. He's got the fitness, and he's by Tavistock, most importantly. So you can trust that he is going to handle the wet. Just from gate 10 is going to be a long way back. And you're kind of looking through that listed Sydney form. There's horses in there like Knight's Order, who we've seen come up here and dominate in that 5-horse, 3,200 metre race was that last fortnight ago? It rated really high also. It's just a really tricky race. I think there's good odds here about Flasher. I think looking on the map there, he can just sit midfield. We know he handles the wet. I know it's an unorthodox preparation going from, I think he went back to 1,000 to 15 up to 2150. but I just really like how he charged through the line there, and happy to play each way.
It looks a real raffle outside the favourite, and I know I think Johnny Walter tipped up Stockman in its last win on a similar day. What were your thoughts, Johnny Mcleod, about this $2 favourite?
It's hard to beat. It's hard to get away from it. I'm sort of humming and ahhing about Happy Go Lucky at 2,400 and Flash R. God, it's been surely not just because of what it's been doing. What he's done to it, going from 1,000-meter races straight up to 2,400 in 2 or 3 runs or whatever, and it's got Madeline Wishart on it. To win a what is this? Is this a group race or a listed race?
Yeah, listed race.
Yeah, so it's they're the two obvious dangers, and I think there's flaws in both of them. Whereas the other one, it powered through the line in Sydney, and as Tom was saying, it's sort of it's got the foundation to keep on going. It gave Wookok windburn the other day. So, it's just it looks the right one. I think they bet 320 or something like that a couple of days ago or something like around there. That was big odds, but it's going to probably start evens or 5 to 4 around that mark. And do you want to be tumbled in at 5 to 4 at 2,400 meters on a heavy 8, 9, 10? It's sort of it sort of might be a race to watch for me, but I think it is going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, I think some people will find Mirage Dancer, but 61 kilos. I just think the weight that Stockman's got here, 55.5 kilos versus a horse like Flash R, and that you're 100% on the money there with the preparation. It's gone 1,000 meters, 1,500, and then 2,150. We mightn't have the foundation to run this out, especially if they start getting into the track. So it's going to be a fascinating contest. But I like your work nonetheless, Tommy Turbo. I know it's easy just to barrel in and tip up the favourite, but looking for another angle, something to beat the favourite. It could be the one, but if you didn't see its preparation, it's definitely the one with the wet track form that is definitely capable of an upset. So definitely mark that down. Let's have a look at the next race, the Glasshouse Handicap. Odds courtesy of TopSport on the screen again here. Cracking race, this 1,400-metre event. A few horses coming through the Stradbroke, but Desert Lord's a favourite horse that we tipped last time, or you boys found last time at even money, declared it. 420 at the top of the market. Nicanova, 550 into $5. Absolute wet tracker, this horse. 950 into 850. Charlize, $10 profit. Caventia Bay, 11. Emerald Kingdom, $12. Snitch, who you boys found at Ipswich Eyeliner Day, 14 into $12. And King of Hastings, bet you they wish they sold this horse to Hong Kong, $17, and it's much, much better the rest. But you boys are going to take us through your glory days of Ippy Cup Day, and we're going to talk about Snitch and have a look at him last start.
Yeah, that's him, running about 6th or 7th. Hang on, no, this is...
in the red and white.
Where is he? The red and white with a white face there, coming to the outside, 2 inside. I think Boom Zara's on the outside of him. He did come down the right part of the track again this day, but just the last little bit, he really pinged the lids. I think, he's just an improving type of horse. I don't think we've found really the bottom of him this preparation yet. And I can't see why you jump off. He's $11. He was 12 or something the other day, and he's $11 in a similar type of race. I think Desert Lord is the big query. He hasn't got a jockey on him. He may not start this horse just because of how wet the track could be, but even if he starts, there is a little bit of a chink in his armour, over this distance. It might take his turn of foot away from him. He's got a massive turn of foot, this horse. I think he went on the punting form stuff. He went around 7 lengths above average for the class the other day for the last 200. And that's what got him out of trouble at Ipswich. He just pinged the last bit and just went over the top of them. Now, on a heavy track going up 200 metres, he just may not be able to do that. So I'd probably rather him in the race, because I'm conceding that he's still a chance, but I've got a few little things against him because of the way the track will play. And Snitch is, right. It's going to be right there. It's going to be in the right spot. It's going to be running on. All he's got to do is beat. If you take Desert Lord out of the race, he's got to beat Nicanova, who's got a massive weight, which I think he can probably do. I think Emerald Kingdom has had a lot of favours of late, especially the one at Doomben. They're trying to come up with a reason why Coventina Bay has got a chance now. He came down the roll part of the track at Eagle Farm the other day, and he still didn't make up that much ground. Charlize came in the best part of the track when it won, so it looks more impressive than what it actually is. King Hastings can't get 1,400, I wouldn't think, on a wet track.
No.
Then you get down to horses that have been, going round and round a little bit. So, there's nothing wrong with Snitch's form. It's definitely, it's not an $11 shot, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm quite concerned with a fair few of these runners running 1,400 on the heavy track. I don't think it's gonna race a lot more like a mile race. And the two horses that I can see running it out strongly would be Nicanova and the horse that you found here, Snitch. And I think he could back both of them and leave most of the others behind. I can't discount Nicanova just given how well it handles the wet track. You saw it first up. It ploughed through the mud, and I think he's been okay without being enormous back onto the dry surfaces. But I think you nailed this. But 6.5 kilos, Nicanova and Snitch. Is that a bridge too far?
What do you think, Dom?
Nicanova, I think the key to Nicanova is actually jumping well. If he jumps with the field and can kind of push to maybe midfield, he's in with a big chance, but he does have that bad habit of missing the kick. And if he misses the kick, he's going to be dead set last from barrier 20 with 60.5. So it'll be a massive feat to come from there to take $6, I think.
And a horse
I'll stick fat with Snitch.
A horse like Emerald Kingdom jumps back up to 59 kilos, and can he run out 1,400 on a real wet track, Johnny?
I think he won a mile last time in here. Was that the mile when we were all up there?
1,400, yeah.
Yeah, that's when Rod was on and pushed him off the crown of the track.
Yeah, he came out to the right part, and then Rod pushed him over the outside. So the problem with Emerald Kingdom, like 2 starts ago, they went slow and he was able to get away with it. The other day, he just, he battled away without being anything flash. And he's going to have to come out to the right spot, Frad, here but he's going to be vulnerable to something just stalking him and coming wider than him. There's another horse in the race that I just don't know what to think about is Profit. If you go on his run first up, his chance in this race at the weights. But, geez, he went bad the other day. They're sort of saying that maybe he just didn't handle the soft pace in the sprint. But, God, he gave up pretty badly. It was a pretty ordinary run. But he's one of those horses. He's an enigma.
Isn't it what? Is he a fresh horse, or this horse is just an absolute nightmare? It bobs up when you don't want it, and then when you expect it to run really, really well, it lets you down.
Look who was riding him last start.
G-Boss.
G-Boss.
Oh. Well, isn't that a big call going Tregay's horse? They're all talking about putting Boss on. That's a big call, isn't it?
Yeah, it's firing up the Twitterati. But as someone said, you only really get one crack at these lightly race horses that are zipping through to get to a Caulfield Cup. You're absolutely bonkers if you don't go chasing the top sort of 3 or 4 jockeys in Australia.
Definitely. He's done nothing wrong. The kid that's been on him, but he's had 8 and 10 horse deal sort of thing, and really just taken the problems out of the race by going forward and sitting second. Whereas if he's got a big field with everyone watching him and around him, it's going to be a different story. So you want a big head on him the next time. And I don't know whether Boss is the right way. The way he used to be a good jockey and everything, but he's just making too many blues for mine. I couldn't put him on.
No, I agree. If you're going to come to Mexico, you better use the Mexicans because you're going to be in for a hell of a fight. Otherwise, you'd have to look for someone like Huey Bowman or J-Mac if you're going to take on Jamie Carr and D Lane and those sort of world-class riders, that's for sure. Okay, so the boys are going to stick fat with Snitch. No surprise, they've got a bucket load of money out of him last start at Ipswich, and I'm saying that Nick and Over, especially if the fence is off, it's going to be drawn wide, and it absolutely loves the wet track. So it is a horse that can carry weight and can pinch that one. We might take a little break and make sure if you're betting this weekend, you can try topsport.com.au. They got the protest payout, they got odds boost, they got same game multis, they got all the same products as the big boys. So make sure you support the little guys, bet Australian, and take on TopSport. They are the biggest betting bookie, even though they're only a small family-run operation. They are smart cookies up there. We're going to take a break, and then we'll come back with the lucky last, and we'll see who TopSport have laid in their early markets. Welcome back to Brisvegas. I'm your host, Scoot. I'm joined by Tommy Turbo and Johnny Mcleod from MacBet. It's time to look at the final race at the Sunshine Coast on Cup Day up there, and odds courtesy of TopSport on the screen now. We've got Derulo. We've got Jason favourite here, $5 into $4.60. La Cosmo, $5.50. Jet Ski is $7. Dream Reacher, $9. Renouf is $9. Nick Anita, $13. Spending My Time, $14. Westlink, $15. Fuji Flyer, $17. And Plenty, $21. And you can get much, much better the rest. We're going to have a look at the replay of Plenty, and you can talk us through this one, Turbo.
Yep, so it'll be hard to spot Plenty. He's at the back. He's got the red cap and the silver colours. Actually not leading, outside leader with the blue cap. That's Jason Derulo, who actually wins the race. But watch Plenty out the back. This was him first up off a long break. He gets absolutely no air and just absolutely looks like he's trucking and just cannot get through. I really like this race. You've got three kind of on-pace horses in Derulo, Colpo, D Tamburo, and Fuji Flyer. There doesn't look to be a whole lot of speed, but I've got question marks over those two runners on a wet track over 1,200 metres. I think they'll be getting a bit tired late. I do concede Derulo's probably thereabouts, but I think he's about his right price. I think he might get out a little bit, but he's probably a horse that I'll end up saving on. There's two horses in this race, El Cosmo and Jet Ski. El Cosmo had the absolute dream run last start on a 9-metre rail. From gate one, just flopped there and controlled the race and won. The figures out of the race weren't anything spectacular, and now has to do it from gate 15. I think it's going to be a much trickier run here, and to take the $5, $5.50 on offers a bit would be difficult. I think Jet Ski's a horse from gate 2 is going to be a long way back. I know John kind of good mates with the owners or ex-owners, but for mine, he's been a bit costly. He doesn't have a lot of gate speed. He's going to need a lot of favours. So to take $7 on a wet track's a bit concerning as well. So the horses I've gone looking for are horses that are going to be definitely strong over the 1,200, handle the wet, and look to be primed for this race. One of those being Plenty. I think that first up run was very, very good. Gets Brad Stewart on here from gate 10. Hopefully, I think he can lob midfield just a little bit worse. It'll be coming down the right part of the track. By Zoostar, they handle the wet. Probably didn't come up last preparation, but I think there was enough there in the trials and first up to suggest he's back. Going off the preparation 2 ago, where he was beating horses like Totally Charmed, Pinnacle Star, Elixir, and whatnot, that would hold him in strong stead here. The other horse I went looking for was Westlink. Now, last start was very disappointing, but did get galloped on. So there's a fair excuse there. It's just if he didn't hurt it too badly and he's still up to the mark, you go off that run 2 starts ago behind Superium, Genzar the Wolf, Dr. Why Not, and then the runs prior around like Baller and whatnot. Westlink's a huge shout here, especially from gate 7. Will land about midfield. This is the run I was talking about. He's in the green cap with the orange silks, coming to the outside of like Superium. He's just absolutely trucking this horse. The market keeps underrating him. And like I said, if he has got over that injury okay, then he's in with a huge shout. We get Scissorhands off and we get Justin Huxtable on, who's a strong rider. And most of all, this horse handles the wet. We saw it Doomben a couple of starts ago. He was chasing a horse like Shy Gin and Canapes, who are dead set wet trackers. So those are the two I'll probably go looking for and chop on Derulo, but I'm keen to take on horses like Jet Ski, El Cosmo.
I like both those replays. I love the finish of Westlink there, Turbo, and plenty. I think I might have even snuck a bet on that one at the Gold Coast, and I can remember that when it was held up. I think I like what you're doing here. When you first picked this race, I thought, well, he's gone for this absolute chook raffle here, but you've jagged a couple of big prices, and it's Ipswich Cup Day. You found a $28 chance and Snitch at the big odds too. So you are a bit of a roughie king. You can definitely find the value, and I can't find a reason where I'd want to lay those horses at the big quote. So $15 for Westlink and $21 for Plenty. You don't have to have much on, and you might collect Plenty there. And I think what you've said makes a heck of a lot of sense. Let's have a look at the TopSport Big Bets. Last week, you would have found Tofane at $6 if you had followed the money in there. But this week, we've got race 6, number 9, Tamillard, 1,000 at $5.50 in the Wink Stakes. Is that a bet that you'd like to hold, boys?
Not really. I have got it around about that price, but I know that the horse is flying. It's a lightly framed athletic type, and it's going to be suited on this track, and it's going to come power and sort of thing. So I can see how they've tumbled into it. I was hoping I could get it a bit shorter than what I've got it, but it seems like it's a fairly even type of race. But if they are sort of steaming down that middle of the track, it's going to be the one in the right spot, that's for sure.
Okay, and the other one is race 9, number 15, Perfect Aim, $250 at $61 in the lucky last. Turbo. Someone's had to throw up the stumps here, and what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'll actually, if you go off kind of what he was doing at the end of last preparation, there was actually a run. He won a no metro, no metro wins race here. I think it was on that Caloundra Cup Day or whatever it was, beating Jet Ski and What the Fuss. And towards the end of that prep, he was actually stringing some nice runs together, but I think he's been a bit plain this preparation. Maybe he's ready to do something fifth up, but I think definitely from the gate, he's going to be in the right spot and ready to do something now.
What do you think of Dream Reacher in that race, Tom?
Dream Reacher, that was the one that was steaming home behind El Cosmo last start, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I've seen that one of your black bookers.
Yeah, I was just surprised at how it went from first up to second up, and he's had that big long break, and he's the improvement he made from that first up to second up. He makes it again. He's right in this race, this horse, but it does scare the hell out of me having 539 days off. He must have done a suspensory or something, and then onto a wet track. That is a worry, but he did go good.
Yep, and he's by Snitzel, so he'll handle the wet. It's just he does have tricks. He can be a bit fidgety in the gate, so if he misses a start, I think he might be in a bit of trouble. But he did go good the other day behind El Cosmo.
Okay, so some value hunting throughout the day. GTT, can we forgive that? It'll be interesting to see if he can turn things around on a Sunshine Coast surface that's going to be wet. Flash R, you've gone looking for value there to beat Stockade in the Caloundra Cup. Plenty and Westlink at good odds also, and Snitch you're going to butter up. And I'm going to have a sneaky little saver bet for Nick and Hova. I'll be filthy. If he goes around on a wet track, there's no way I can't be with that runner. It's been a pleasure for the last 10 weeks, boys. I'm sure it's not the last time that you will see you guys on Little Birdie. If the viewers at home want to follow your tips, how can they do that?
Just head over to macbet.com.au, and I think James will give James a call. It's on the numbers on the website, and he'll set you up and put you onto the what's it called, the
WhatsApp group,
or the WhatsApp group, which we send out all our information and updates and all that sort of stuff, and hopefully we can find a winner. We've had a bit of a year so far. We've had 6 months of going very good, and hopefully we can hold it together for the next 6.
No doubt you will, and hopefully by Gold Coast Magic Means time, we can get back up there and say good day. I'd love to be able to get up there and do another stream and spend a couple of weeks up on the Goldie with you lads in the flesh. Hopefully all this COVID nonsense can go away. A big thanks to both of you guys for the carnival. Your insights have been fantastic. You've popped a few winners. You've found a couple of shorties that we can steam into and horses to follow throughout the carnival. So it's been fantastic tipping on your behalf. And a big thanks to our major sponsors, topsport.com.au and puntingform.com.au for their continued support for Little Birdie. They're the big brands that the professionals trust, so make sure you give them a go and support the show. But that's a wrap from me, and a big thanks. Thanks, guys.
That's been great. Doing a really good job with Little Birdie. I think it's new and it's different, and it's something that everyone should get behind.
Yeah, we're trying our best to look beyond the obvious. It's easy just to steam into every favourite every week, but we'll get more of these guys' insights, and we can't wait for the Little Birdie app to drop. Or it's already in the App Store, but we're just working out a couple of bugs. So mid-July, we'll be starting some more punters clubs, more syndicates, and all automated and all off the app. So be much, much easier to follow these guys' tips, and we can't wait to bring that to you. So big thanks, and continue to bet into the Queensland racing. They're doing a great job. Minimum bet laws have also opened up there, so finally you can get on the minimum bet limits. So make sure you're keeping your bookie honest, and make sure if you've got any bets getting rejected, you tell us, or you tell whoever they're licensed, because punters deserve a fair go, and TopSport and Little Birdie are big for giving those punters a fair go. Make sure you follow us on Little Birdie TV, or you can jump on Apple or Spotify or SoundCloud or wherever you get your podcasts. But good luck, and I hope you do well Caloundra Cup Day.